There's a kind of loss that doesn't happen in one single moment. It doesn't explode like a sudden storm. It drips slowly, quietly, day after day. It steals tiny pieces of you when you're not looking, until one day you wake up and realize there's nothing left. You stayed. You stayed when the signs told you to go, when the pain was louder than the love, when the cost of holding on was your own happiness. And in the end, you lost everything. Not because you were weak, not because you didn't know better, but because you believed. You believed in them. You believed in the future you pictured together. You thought that belief was enough to keep everything from falling apart. You stayed because you loved them with everything you had, because you saw the best in them, even on the days when they showed you their worst, because you held on to the version of them that existed in your memories, hoping it would come back. You told yourself that every relationship had rough patches and that you just had to push through. You convinced yourself that loyalty would inspire loyalty, that your sacrifices would be seen, appreciated, and returned. And even when a small, persistent voice whispered that something wasn't right, that you deserved more, but you silenced it. You stayed because leaving felt like failure, because you weren't ready to admit that the person you loved wasn't willing to meet you halfway. And you noticed things you didn't want to see, the way their words started cutting deeper than their apologies could reach, the promises they made but never kept, the shift from warm affection to cold silence. It wasn't one big betrayal, and it was hundreds of little ones. You saw the red flags waving, but you told yourself they were just tired, just stressed, just going through something. You gave them the benefit of the doubt over and over again, even when they had stopped giving you anything at all. And with each excuse, you allowed the little pieces of disrespect to pile up until they formed a mountain you could no longer climb. Then one day, without warning, it hit you. You had nothing left, not your peace, not your trust, not the light in your eyes that once came so easily. You had poured every bit of yourself into someone who let you empty out completely and never thought to refill you. And the laughter you once shared was gone. The safety you once felt had vanished. The dreams you had together had quietly died while you were busy keeping the relationship alive on your own. And you realized, too late, that staying had cost you everything you didn't think you could lose. It wasn't just the relationship that broke, it was you. The truth is, love alone isn't enough to hold something together. You can't make someone see your value if they choose to look past it. You can't keep giving pieces of yourself to someone who never gives back. And you can't call it loyalty when it's really self-betrayal. Sacrificing your happiness for someone who won't fight for you isn't love. It's slow destruction. Every day you stayed, you lost another part of yourself to the silence, the neglect, the absence of real care. You gave up your peace to keep the connection alive, but a connection without mutual respect isn't worth holding on to. You may regret not leaving sooner. You may wish you could go back and shake the person you were, tell them to run before it's too late. But regret is only useful if it teaches you something. This wasn't failure, it was a lesson, a hard, heavy lesson about the difference between loving someone and losing yourself to them. It taught you that you have to love yourself enough to walk away, even when it hurts, even when it feels impossible. Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is let go, not hold on. And now you carry that lesson forward. You protect your peace like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. You know that the right person will never make you question your worth, will never make you feel small, will never take without giving. You'll never again stay where you are only tolerated. You'll never again settle for half love. You'll never again silence your voice just to keep someone else comfortable. You've learned to listen to that small voice inside you, the one you once ignored, and to trust it without hesitation. This chapter was painful, yes. It broke you, yes. But it also built you into someone who knows what they deserve and won't accept less. And this isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a better one. One where you are valued, respected, and loved the way you always should have been. In this time, you won't lose everything because you'll never again lose yourself.